Garth Brooks, the name that forever changed the face of American country music. From a poor boy in Oklahoma, he rose to become a global phenomenon, selling over 170 million albums and filling every stadium with his warm voice and down-to-earth charm. In the eyes of the public, Garth is the very symbol of family love, a man who dared to walk away from the peak of fame to return home and be a true husband and father. Yet, behind that flawless image lies a very different Garth Brooks. A man with two faces whose heart once lost its way amid fame and nameless temptations. Few people know that the woman holding his hand today, Trisha Yearwood, was once the other woman in what seemed to be an unbreakable marriage between Garth and his first wife, Sandy Mall. It was a love story born from music, but it slowly turned into an undercurrent strong enough to sweep away the home once praised across America as a symbol of pure love. Now at 63, Garth Brooks chooses a quiet life with Trisha on a secret 300-acre ranch in Oklahoma, even though his fortune still reaches an estimated $400 million. But behind those ever-closed wooden gates, what is truly happening? Is it the place where he hides from the spotlight, or is it the final refuge where a legend learns how to live again after the wounds the world never knew existed? Troy Garth Brooks was born in 1962 in Oklahoma into a family that wasn't wealthy but was filled with warmth and music. His mother, Colleen Carroll, had been a recording artist for Capitol Records during the 1950s, while his father, Troy Raymond Brooks Jr., was a quiet, meticulous draftsman. Every week, the Brooks family held what they called a mandatory talent night, where everyone had to perform something singing, storytelling, or any kind of act they wished. Those family shows became Garth's first classroom, teaching him how to sense the mood of an audience, how to make people smile, a feeling that millions of Nashville fans would one day experience through him. But that childhood wasn't colored by dreams of the stage. On the contrary, Garth was deeply passionate about sports. He played baseball, football, and track, and excelled in all of them. By the time he reached high school, his impressive javelin-throwing records had caught the attention of several coaches. He earned a full athletic scholarship to Oklahoma State University in Stillwater, a golden opportunity that most young men in Yukon could only dream of. At 18, it seemed his future was destined for professional athletics, not for music. But the turning point came during college. To make some extra money, Garth took a job as a bouncer at a small bar near campus. There, he occasionally stepped on stage to sing when the band was short a vocalist. At first, he only did covers of James Taylor, Merle Haggard, or Billy Joel, but gradually the audience began to call his name. From those late-night gigs, Garth discovered the most important lesson of his life. Music isn't just melody, it's empathy. He learned when to be silent, when to let the guitar speak, and when to hold a note long enough to touch someone's heart. From those modest bar performances, Garth and a few friends formed a band called Santa Fe, playing everything from country to rock to blues, anything that could make the crowd smile and tap their feet. One night in an Oklahoma bar, a Dallas entertainment lawyer happened to hear him sing and said, "You should cut a demo." That piece of advice opened the path that led Garth to Nashville, a harsh land, yet the ultimate dream for every country artist. His first time there, he was rejected after just one day. Record labels said he wasn't Nashville enough, and bars only booked singers who were already known. But 2 years later, Garth returned performing anywhere that had a microphone and an audience, learning how to stand tall, how to negotiate, and most importantly, how to believe in himself. In 1989, after years of persistence and experimentation, Garth Brooks released his debut album, Garth Brooks. What seemed like a small project quickly became a phenomenon when If Tomorrow Never Comes soared to #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, introducing his name to audiences nationwide. His voice wasn't technically complex, but it carried such sincerity that listeners felt as if he were singing their own stories. Within months, the album went multi-platinum, selling over 10 million copies worldwide, a rare achievement for country music at the time. A year later, in 1990, he returned with No Fences, the album that turned Garth from a rising star into a full-blown sensation. Hits like Friends in Low Places, The Thunder Rolls, and Unanswered Prayers echoed across America, becoming anthems of Southern life. No Fences held the #1 spot on the country charts for 23 consecutive weeks, sold over 17 million copies in the U.S., and was certified 17X Platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, a number few artists of his era could even dream of. Garth's success wasn't just about the music. He brought a completely new language of performance to country, as energetic and uninhibited as rock, yet still rooted in the rustic soul of small-town America. On stage, he ran, jumped, talked, and even dropped to his knees to sing, with fans turning every concert into a true celebration. Country music had never seen anyone like him before. By 1991, Rope in the Wind was released, marking a historic milestone, the first country album ever to debut at #1 on the Billboard 200, surpassing pop and rock releases alike. Selling over 14 million copies, Garth not only cemented his status, but also shattered the boundaries of genre. The American press called him the Michael Jackson of country music, while Rolling Stone praised him as the man who made Nashville the center of the world. The early 1990s marked the golden era of Garth Brooks. He sold out concerts everywhere, from Texas and Kansas to Toronto and across Europe. In 1993, his performance at Wembley Arena in London drew more than 60,000 fans, becoming the first sold-out country concert in the United Kingdom. Garth didn't just bring American music to the world, he carried with him the humble, heartfelt spirit of Oklahoma, sharing it with millions of fans across the globe. But massive success always comes with pressure. By the late 1990s, after endless tours, albums, and awards, Garth began to feel he was losing the one thing that mattered most: creative freedom. In 1999, he made a daring move, transforming himself into Chris Gaines, a fictional rock star from another universe, complete with a new look, new sound, and even a film project. The experiment failed. Fans were confused, critics were harsh, and the industry looked at him with doubt. Garth later admitted, "I wanted to be free, but I chose the wrong way to do it." A year later, in 2000, he announced his retirement from the stage. At the time, Garth was only 38 years old, standing at the very peak of fame, yet he said it was time to go home. "I don't want to be a father my kids only know through signed photographs," he once shared. And so, the man who had once shaken entire stadiums quietly stepped away from the spotlight, returning to his home, his 3 daughters, and ultimately to himself. The news left all of Nashville stunned. The media called it the farewell no one saw coming, while millions of fans across America expressed their heartbreak. The stadiums that had once thundered with cheers suddenly fell silent, and people began to realize sometimes even legends must disappear to find themselves again. In 2014, with his daughters grown, Garth made a surprise return with the comeback tour, and audiences erupted as if time had never passed. Tickets sold out within minutes, and his new album, Man Against Machine, released the same year, soared to the top of the country charts. His return was more than just a comeback. It was a powerful testament to the enduring spirit and timeless vitality of a true country music legend. Yet few people knew that behind Garth Brooks' years of silence lay a string of secrets that would set Nashville abuzz. Garth had said he wanted to devote his time to family and to his 3 young daughters. But behind that image of a devoted husband and father were cracks that had long appeared in his marriage to his first wife, Sandy Mull. Garth Brooks and Sandy Mull had married when he was still a poor college student in Oklahoma. It was Sandy who paid the rent, helped print his first flyers, and spent hours handwriting his lyrics. She followed him to every small gig, stood behind the curtain selling tickets, packed demo tapes, and drove through the night to make the next show. When Garth began to rise, Sandy became his anchor, managing everything at home so he could pour his soul into music. Their 3 daughters grew up in their mother's gentle care, while their father spent years on the road beneath the roar of cheering crowds. During the years when fame surrounded them, Sandy never once complained. She understood that music was Garth's lifeblood, so she chose to stand quietly in the background, carrying the weight of silence, the loneliness, the nights of waiting, and the nameless worries. That quiet sacrifice became the solid foundation that allowed Garth to soar creatively, transforming him from an unknown singer into an icon of American country music. Their marriage was once seen as the very embodiment of loyalty, until another woman entered the picture, leading to one of the most talked about divorces in Nashville's history. Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood first met in 1987 at a time when Garth had been married to Sandy Mull for less than a year. Back then, Trisha was just a young singer trying to find her place in Nashville, while Garth was still fumbling through his early recordings. They collaborated in the studio, sharing their musical dreams, and gradually grew closer than they should have. Behind the stage lights, amid voice rehearsals and long tour nights, an invisible thread began to tighten between 2 people standing on the edge of art and emotion. In a 2013 interview on The Ellen Show, Garth admitted that from the very first moment he met Trisha, he felt as if he had met his soulmate. What sounded like a romantic confession shocked the public because at that time he was still living with Sandy. From that moment on, people became convinced between Garth and Trisha there was something far deeper than friendship. Their duets weren't just performances, they were love confessions disguised as songs, like We Never Had a Broken Heart. 1991 might seem like a tender ballad at first, but every lyric echoed like a dialogue between 2 people who had once loved but could never say it aloud. 6 years later, when they reunited for In Another's Eyes, the line "We see things so differently" sent chills through listeners, as if they were singing their own forbidden story under the bright Nashville lights and the gaze of an audience that didn't yet know. Meanwhile, some members of Garth's touring crew had seen moments that crossed professional boundaries. One lighting technician recalled walking backstage after a concert and catching sight of the 2 locked in a long embrace in a dim room illuminated only by the soft blue glow spilling from the stage lights. Another crew member put it bluntly, "It wasn't a friendly hug. It was the kind you give when you're trying to hold back something you shouldn't feel." The 2 were often the last to leave rehearsal, and sometimes Trisha's car would still be parked quietly outside when the lights in Garth's studio were still on. It didn't stop there. In the late 1990s, as Garth's marriage to Sandy began to fracture under the weight of relentless touring and growing emotional distance, he decided to move to a 142-acre ranch on the outskirts of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Officially, it was a retreat, a place to rest and find peace after the spotlight, as he called it, a quiet refuge in nature far removed from the noise of Nashville. The ranch lay among Tulsa's gentle rolling hills, its heart a 30-acre spring-fed lake, teeming with bass and ducks drifting lazily across the glassy surface, reflecting the grand main lodge with its 15 bedrooms, warm timber beams, and stone fireplaces that embodied the Southern spirit. Inside were a commercial-grade kitchen, a private office, and a gunroom. Beyond that stood a manager's house with a serene pool, a private music room, an air-conditioned dog kennel, and a cookhouse overlooking the lake. Amid solitude and luxury, that Oklahoma Ranch was not merely a sanctuary. It was a hidden chapter in the life of a man who had once stood atop America's musical world. Yet the ranch held secrets far deeper than its tranquil surface suggested. Those close to Garth claimed that Trisha often visited the ranch at first under the innocent pretext of songwriting sessions. They said it all began harmlessly enough, late-night writing lyric revisions, demo tapes that needed polishing, or melodies that Garth wanted to test with the one female voice he trusted most. But by the fall of 1998, when the oak leaves had turned a deep crimson, Trisha's visits grew more frequent. She arrived in her own car, slipping in through a side gate, a dirt road reserved for family members where no cameras were installed. There in the cookhouse by the lake, Garth was waiting. They didn't talk much, only the soft strum of a guitar, the gentle splash of water on the shore, and glances that spoke without words. Trisha sat on the wooden table, her legs swinging lightly. Garth stood beside her, his hand resting on her waist, not the way a friend would touch. The door was half closed, but the flicker of an oil lamp cast their silhouettes across the shimmering water. On another occasion, a gardener pruning the trees saw Garth and Trisha standing by a silver pickup truck, its headlights dimly illuminating their faces. Without a word, Garth leaned in and kissed Trisha a farewell longer than friendship allowed. She smiled, brushing the lapel of his jacket before stepping into the car. The old man turned away silently, but that quiet moment spread through the whispers of the staff, and before long the story had traveled across Oklahoma, a small detail, but enough to ignite the rumors that this was not just a songwriting retreat, but the birthplace of a forbidden love. And inevitably, what was bound to happen did. In 2001, after 15 turbulent years of marriage, Garth Brooks and Sandy Mall officially divorced, a split that had been announced in 2000 but finalized in December with a reported settlement of $125 million, making it one of the most expensive divorces in music history. Just 4 years later, in 2005, Garth and Trisha Yearwood were married on December 10th in a private ceremony at their Oklahoma home, witnessed only by close friends and family. And even though Garth Brooks has always firmly denied allegations of infidelity, insisting that his relationship with Trisha began only after his divorce from Sandy, the public has never been fully convinced. In interviews, he still speaks of his respect for his ex-wife and of trying to hold the family together until the very end. Yet those words echo faintly against the images people remember from the ranch. The oil lamp's glow, two figures by the lake, a stolen kiss in the mist. Together they paint a portrait of a different Garth Brooks, not the hero of the stage, but a man caught between two worlds, fame and desire, where music became the veil for the truths he could never bring himself to name. When they eventually left Oklahoma, Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood had another home, this time in Nashville, the vibrant heart of country music, where they found balance between work and life. In the quiet neighborhood of Oak Hill, where artists and business elites hide behind private gates, their house stood out for its modern yet welcoming character. Minimalist in design, with floor-to-ceiling glass walls that bathe the rooms in natural light, sleek walnut floors, and carefully chosen interiors radiating the warm hues of the South. No grand chandeliers, only wood sunlight and silence reflecting the simple elegance of its owners. The kitchen was compact yet fully equipped with Wolf appliances, dual dishwashers, an ice maker, and a hidden walk-in pantry. Outside there was a marble-top grill, a heated saltwater pool, and a tiered rooftop cinema overlooking the glittering skyline of Nashville. The main bedroom on the ground floor featured a gas fireplace, a spa-style bathroom, and a private balcony facing the garden. Everything was backed by a full generator system, a small detail, but one that spoke volumes about Garth's meticulous nature. The house wasn't built to flaunt luxury, but to embody refinement and endurance, much like the way he chose to live quietly and deliberately beneath the lingering glow of fame. Not only is Garth Brooks refined in his choice of home, but he also has another passion that perfectly reflects his personality: the world of automobiles. Inside the singer's garage sits a collection of classic American cars and pickup trucks worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, each preserved like a fragment of his youth in the red dust plains of Oklahoma. The first, and perhaps the one Garth Brooks treasures the most, is a 1946 Ford Super Deluxe convertible, a post-war American gem. Its metallic red body gleams like fine wine, the chrome trims shine under the Tennessee sun, and the vintage white wall tires hug its elegant frame. Beneath the hood lies the original V8 engine producing that signature rumble collectors call the heartbeat of America. On the classic car market, this model is valued at over $120,000, but to Garth, it's priceless. The Ford once belonged to his parents, a symbol of a generation that lived, simply worked hard, and believed in honest labor. On quiet Tulsa mornings, locals sometimes see Garth driving the convertible around his private lake, wind brushing past his beige cowboy hat. In those moments, the man who conquered the world of music becomes once again the boy from Yukon, alone with the wind in his memories. Parked right beside it is a BMW X7, a luxurious SUV worth nearly $100,000, representing modern comfort at its finest. The interior is wrapped in quilted leather with a panoramic glass roof and a Harman Kardon surround sound system filling the space. But Garth didn't choose it for its brand or price. He once joked, "It's big enough for the family and a few guitars." This is the car he uses for road trips with Trisha Yearwood or visits to his grandchildren in Oklahoma. For him, every detail from the soft ambient lights to the scent of new leather simply needs to bring peace. "I don't need speed," he once said in an interview, "I just need calm." And then, in the far corner of the garage, almost hidden in the shadows, sits a Mercedes-Benz CLK C209. An elegant silver two-door coupe valued at around $70,000 today for well-preserved originals. Few have ever seen it in person because this is the car Garth drives when he wants to disappear. Some say that on quiet nights he takes it along the winding Tennessee hills, rolls down the window, and plays his old songs, searching for that slow, steady heartbeat that returns only when the stage lights fade. 3 cars, 3 eras, 3 states of mind, nostalgia, family, and solitude. They are not merely vehicles, but reflections of Garth Brooks's soul, a man who has lived through glory, yet still guards his inner stillness. Collectors often remark that these models are rarely found together in one private collection. But for Garth, they aren't trophies to display, they are companions to live with 3 chapters in a lifelong journey of music and peace. Behind that seemingly simple lifestyle, Garth Brooks has quietly built a massive financial empire of his own. It is estimated that his net worth has now surpassed $400 million, making him one of the wealthiest country music artists in history. But the question remains, how did he manage to build such an enormous fortune? The foundation of Garth Brooks's wealth lies in his staggering music sales. He is the best-selling solo artist in U.S. history, surpassing even Elvis Presley and second only to the Beatles if bands are included. Over 170 million albums have been sold worldwide with legendary releases like No Fences 1990, Rope in the Wind 1991, and The Hits 1994. defining the golden age of country music. His total music royalties alone are estimated to exceed $100 million, an extraordinary figure in the genre. What sets Brooks apart is his independence in publishing and rights management. In 1999, he founded Pearl Records to gain full control over distribution and profits. When the industry shifted to digital, he rejected Spotify and Apple Music, choosing instead to launch his own exclusive platform, Ghost Tunes, which he co-founded. This strategy allowed him to maintain revenue margins far above the industry average, while preserving complete artistic ownership of his work. Live tours are his second largest source of income, and perhaps the clearest proof of his influence. Known as the man who revived the stadium era, Garth regularly performs before tens of thousands of fans each night. The Garth Brooks World Tour 2014-2017 drew more than 6.3 million attendees and grossed nearly $500 million, a record-breaking figure in country music. Though ticket prices averaged only around $60, the scale and efficiency of each show generated millions in nightly revenue. "I want everyone to be able to see my show." He once said, "You don't have to be rich to enjoy it." That philosophy built a fiercely loyal fan base, fueling massive profits from merchandise and the Garth Brooks collection brand. Beyond the stage, Brooks has also thrived in television licensing and brand partnerships. Specials such as Garth Brooks Live at Notre Dame Stadium 2018 and concerts aired on CBS and Amazon Prime brought in tens of millions in broadcast revenue. Major brands like Ford Bass Pro Shops and Amazon Music have partnered with him on large-scale campaigns. Though Garth rarely agrees to endorsements, each deal reportedly earns him several million dollars. Not only that, but Garth Brooks is also the writer and co-writer of hundreds of songs, bringing him a steady stream of royalties year after year. His timeless hit, Friends in Low Places, now more than 30 years old, still earns him hundreds of thousands of dollars annually. Beyond music, Garth Brooks has proven himself a sharp and strategic real estate investor. Together with his wife, singer Trisha Yearwood, he owns several properties across Tennessee, Oklahoma, and Florida, including a sprawling 300-acre ranch near Nashville and a Spanish Revival-style beachfront mansion in Florida valued at over $10 million. These properties serve both as private retreats and as long-term investments. According to reports, their real estate portfolio is currently worth more than $50 million. Despite his massive fortune and global fame, Garth Brooks has always been known for his kindness and compassion. From the very beginning of his career, he believed that success only truly matters when it's shared. Unlike many celebrities who use philanthropy to polish their image, Garth's charitable work is quiet, hands-on, and enduring, focused on education, children, and local communities. In 1999, he founded the Teammates for Kids Foundation, a charitable organization that partners with thousands of professional athletes across the United States, including some of the biggest names from the NFL, NBA, and MLB. The foundation's model is truly unique. Every time an athlete scores wins or sets a record, they donate a set amount to the fund. And Brooks, as the founder, personally matches every single contribution from his own pocket. Thanks to this match fund mechanism, Teammates for Kids has raised more than $100 million, directly supporting children's hospitals, athletic scholarships, and community centers across America. Brooks once said, "When a child is given a chance, the whole world gains hope." But his philanthropy doesn't stop there. Garth Brooks is also a pioneer in blending music with charity. Many of his concerts have been organized solely for fundraising purposes, such as Garth Brooks' The Concert for Oklahoma Tornado Relief 2013, which raised millions of dollars for families affected by natural disasters in his home state. He and Trisha Yearwood are also frequent volunteers for Habitat for Humanity, personally helping to build hundreds of homes for families in need. The couple doesn't just appear on stage to make speeches, they show up in jeans and hard hats, mixing cement and hammering walls themselves. That humble image has only deepened the public's affection for them. One of the most touching moments came when Brooks and Yearwood sponsored the Feeding America program during the COVID-19 pandemic. Instead of simply donating money, they hosted a live stream performance called Inside Studio G, right from their recording studio, singing for fans and encouraging viewers to contribute directly. Within just a few hours, the event raised millions of dollars to provide food for hundreds of thousands of people. Alongside major initiatives, Garth Brooks has quietly supported smaller schools and organizations in his home state of Oklahoma. He funds musical instruments, scholarships for art students, and community music development programs. For him, music is not just a career, it's a way to heal and inspire the next generation. As Brooks once shared, "I've been given so much in this life. If I don't give something back, I don't deserve what I have." What's remarkable is that Brooks does all of this quietly. He rarely mentions money in connection with his charitable work, nor does he allow the media to follow him closely. In interviews, when asked why he doesn't publicly disclose his donations, he simply smiles and says, "If you do good to be noticed, then you're doing it for the wrong reason." More than 3 decades in the spotlight, Garth Brooks has managed to remain as genuine as he was in his early days. To him, fame is a tool for doing good, not a trophy to show off. In an entertainment world overflowing with luxury and self-promotion, the image of a man in a cowboy hat and worn shirt bending down to lay bricks for a charity home stands out as a rare and powerful symbol of humble generosity. That is what makes Garth Brooks not only a legend of country music, but also a source of hope for millions who still believe in the quiet power of kindness. Today on his windswept Oklahoma ranch, Garth Brooks still sometimes steps out onto the porch, picks up his old guitar, and softly hums the songs that once made the world fall silent. He has everything: fame, love, fortune. Yet, perhaps what he has been searching for all along is a little peace within his soul. Some say Garth has redeemed himself. Others believe he's simply learning to live with memories that can never be erased. And what about you? Do you think this legend has truly found peace, or is he still hiding behind the walls of his past? If you love the untold stories hidden behind Hollywood's dazzling lights, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you can continue this journey with us as we explore even more legendary figures and forgotten tales from the world of music and film. And if there's a name or story you'd like us to tell, next, please let us know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting.